Shalom Yasharallah. Before we go into this lesson, we give all honor, all glory, and all praises to Yahweh. So Kal Halalyam Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakodash. We give double honor to the apostles and prophets and elders of JMS Camp, better known as Great Millstone, for they bring forth the 100% truth that have been currently edified under. Shalom to the elect and the tabernacle of David, and I'm your brother Kazak Yasharallah coming to you with this herb talk lesson. Now, recently there have been a lot of circulations of videos dealing with the carnivore diet, where they eat a lot of beef, raw eggs, and so on and so forth, and they add some salt to it, and they drink, I think it's water, or whatever they would have consumed, water, and that would set off for the day, once a day, I believe, or twice a day, however they proceed to do this. Now, like I said before, this is not a balanced diet. Because as far as I have done studies, aside from the other people, remember, meats are acidic. I'll say it again. For those who in the back that didn't want to listen, meats are acidic. So this is for all people jakes. This is for y'all, so that you wouldn't fall into the same nonsense and suffer similar consequences. Because many people have relapsed from this. I would say it will work for you until you reach about 4 to 5 years, even 6 years. And then you get a relapse. And this is a very good example of this taking place. Let's go into the video and get some understanding here, right? And get why.
And you'll see the doctor who was like the front man for that diet,
Yep.
He since started to add plants back into his diet.
Yep. The same guy, white Esau fella, with the head kind of slick back, was talking, he began adding plants back into his diet because he saw the error. They don't know balance. They think they should just go with something and that's it. And many people are following these trends. I would say many people was following these trends. A very good example. What's his name again? What's his name? The guy who, the bald head fella, I forget his name. Frick. Damn. Anyways, I can't remember his name. You all should know him. He went viral for a while. They arrested him. He was in a carnivore diet as well. Did he say he was in a carnivore diet recently? No. Many of people are coming out of the carnivore diet. It's not as good as he thought it was. And it's exactly why I said from the beginning, it is not a balanced diet. You have to be able to have a food combination that would give you all nutrients required for your body. Meats are acidic. So consuming meats by itself would be a false balance. So let's continue to get this.
Now, and he'll tell you, if you go look him up, I won't even say his name, you go look him up, he'll tell you he started to have a lot of problems from eating just meat. Okay? And he had to go to eating more plants. You cannot just eat meat. It's too acidic. This is why.
Let's continue.
Cool. And you from eating just meat. Okay? And he had to go to eating more plants. You cannot just eat meat. It's too acidic. This is why when lions eat meat, they can. Because even their saliva in their mouth is acidic. It's not alkaline like ours. And they have like 5 times the amount of acid in their stomach than we do. Okay? Most people don't even have enough acid. Most people have issues with low stomach acid.
Let's put that out there because we have to understand that it's a false balance to be consuming meats only. There's a reason for the herbs which was noted as to why it was created. Please remember and understand that. Again, remember and understand that. Alright? Now, as we say that, let's go into the information to get better understanding. And then we'll go into some herbs and then we'll continue as such, right? So, this is the information here. Dealing with foods, right? Section 9. Dealing with foods. So we will read them and then we will get the information about the combination of foods so that you can get the understanding. And then we go into some probably herbs or what foods you could use considering the fruits that the food that is given as a list from SEBI before he passed. So let's go into it. It said food is composed of nutrients, vitamins and minerals, carbohydrates, starch, fats, proteins, which provides energy. Carbohydrates are quick energy foods. They are usually classified as starches, sugars, cellulose, and fiber, which is non-digestible foodstuff. Hear that? Non-digestible foodstuff. Gums, not chewing gums, and which it says storage food and storage food energy silakia called glycogen, because we know the body stores, the liver is what really stores that glycogen, right, from the minerals and vitamins that is given. The pancreas secretes the hormone insulin, which stimulates the enzyme to break down the carbohydrates. As we go further, fats are the slowest burning energy source. It says they are composed of smaller substances called fatty acids. Some fatty acids can build themselves in larger groups of fatty acids. In larger groups, of fatty acids. It says these types of fatty acids are called which in between it says many saturated or polysaccharides. But anyways, other fatty acids will not build larger fatty acids, and they are called saturated fatty acids. This type of fat is usually in solid form. Polyunsaturated fats are found in vegetable oil, soya bean, and corn, etc. So we see here where the unsaturated fats are. But let's continue. Saturated fatty acids are usually found in animal fats. Cow's milk, beef, pork, which we're not supposed to eat pork, but anyways, etc. The fat intake in the diet of people in Caucasian, which is the Esau Edom countries, is over 40% of the calories, a unit of calories, which is a unit of measuring heat. The traditional African type diet is usually composed of 10% or fewer units of fat energy. Protein from vegetables and animal fats are composed of smaller substances called amino acids, and we do know what they mean by African, because we know, or not aside from the Hamites, they also refer to us as African American, right? And we have to go back and this is just going back into the basics as to what they would have been, the food combination, what they would consume, which is less fats, but not as much fats as the Esau Edom, because we know they like blood. Anyways, let's continue. The body does not store processed. The body does not store excess protein. Excess protein is changed into fat and absorbed in organs like heart and kidney, etc. Right, which we could see could be a detrimental part to you. It says, or in muscle tissues, or as stored cellulites. It is dangerous to eat too much protein, especially from animal sources. Let me read it again, because I need to read it for you to hear it. It is dangerous to eat too much protein, especially from animal sources. So those who want to partake of the carnivore diet and don't want to take heed, that are among the jakes, you can go ahead. But remember this. I read this to you. You can't say you don't know if you're watching the video. Alright, let's continue. Protein consumption has become an ignorance in the Caucasian science, which these are Esau and nonsense, and the carnal knowledge and understand. So the information that is given, there's a reason why scripture says trust not that enemy. Never trust that enemy. Who's our enemy? Esau Edom. We can't trust them. Whatever they bring about for us to consume, Like how people eating pork and all these things today, and going into that's like carnivore. That I see many jakes going to that same thing, not knowing the dangers in it. So, anyways, that's hey, you wanna follow? Follow. Just follow. When you know it, I'm telling you, you wanna follow. Just know that when you keep doing what you're doing, there's something called death, a destruction. If you wanna put yourself in a category, by all means, we're gonna stop you. Until then, stop following Esau Edom. Stop. Protein consumption has become an ignorance in Caucasian science. It is commonly felt that in order to build human muscle and proteins, one protein requirement, and proteins, one must eat. I think I went to the wrong line. One must eat lean animal flesh muscle protein, right? Basically, the animal flesh, the muscle of the animal itself, like a leg, like a tendon, all these things that they consume, which is, again, nothing is wrong with that, but overeating is the problem. And it says this is clearly not the case. It says the protein requirement was established by evaluating the upper middle class group of Caucasians that ate a junk food diet. However, normal protein levels in other diets are different. The vegetarian lactovore, are vegetarian or vegan, and fruitarian have protein levels which are optimum at low levels. And it goes for, it says vegetarian eats high amount of raw chlorophyll. Chlorophyll stabilizes proteins. Thus, vegetarians require less proteins. Less proteins. It says carbohydrates builds the protein and can also reduce protein requirements. Then it says eating meat increases cellular destruction, which we know is to be true. Cellular destruction, which raises the blood acid level and therefore increases protein requirements. A combination of various nuts and seeds and whole grains, wheat and beans is a good protein balance, which we know to be true. Animal flesh is not composed of all the amino acids. That's the main point. This is the main point. You want to get your food source, and you want to get I would say, you want to get a proper balanced diet. Eating meat is not going to give you everything. You are going to fall off. Like many of them who had to turn back to the same vegan or vegetables that they're trying to run from the relapse that they get. Why I feel is that because you're not getting all the proteins, you're not getting all the nutrients required for your body to function correctly. Majority of them comes from your greens, your fruits. Protein is required, yes, from the meats, from certain meats, yes. But guess what? Many of your nutrients you get from the others. This is why you have to have a food combination, a balanced diet. Because let's read this again. For those who didn't hear, let's read it again. It says, I think I missed it. All right, it says right. All right. A combination of various nuts, seeds, and whole grains, wheat and beans is a good protein balance. Animal flesh is not composed of all amino acids, and meat is not a balanced protein. See? A false balance is an abomination unto Yahweh thy power, roughly paraphrasing. The nutrients in fresh fruits and vegetables have amino acids as well, which we see, as well as chlorophyll that stabilizes amino acids, and this reduces the protein requirement for vegetarians. Vegetarians uses amino acids to make protein. That's how you get protein. Anyways, let's continue. I want to I'll stop off right there because we're going into what? The food combinations for the balanced diets. The food combinations consist of The food, this is, as which we have to understand, is a balance in it, acid and alkaline. The food requires acid and alkaline to digestive fluids and enzymes for digestion. So you need, in order for you to be able to absorb or intake that food correctly, you have to have both parts. This is why the balanced diet comes in play. Meats are acidic, fruits and veggies are usually alkaline. Put it together, you get a proper balanced diet with all the nutrients that was required for your daily movement, enhancing, or I would say, I don't want to say enhancing, but allowing you to receive all your nutrients, which would bring about a proper balance and allow all of your organs to function at its peak potential. That's what I want to see. And trust me, because I did this before, when I say that the peak will help you to be more versatile than you already are in this truth, it will. Aside from your daily life, because I usually would use, would go to these things just so it is helped to allow you to remember more, to be able to take in more. With a compromised brain, it's hard to really understand certain things. But if you put yourself back on a certain level, especially dealing with the temple, cleaning the temple, making sure it's in order for the Heavenly Father, guess what? You are able to absorb more. He's going to pour more. He's going to pour more out onto you. This is the truth. And that's for those who are chosen to receive this truth. Because we see many buggers that have a balanced diet and still in error. Still not knowing the scriptures. So let's go a little bit more into it. It says, however, food combinations is a simple way to understand digestion. Digestion starts with smell. Smell stimulates the digestion, which this is basic. This was learned in, I believe it was Standard 4. We learned about this in Standard 4, about the smell and how what the smell does to your digestive system. We did a whole chat on that already. Standard 4, Standard 3. Whatever, one of them times back then when I was younger, right? So, let me read it again. Digestion starts with smell. Smell stimulates the digestive organs to get ready for food. Once the food enters the mouth, it should be chewed until it is a liquid, so that acidic salivary digestive enzymes such as petilin, if that's how it's pronounced, breaks down starch and could be mixed into it. The liquid food then enters into the stomach, which secretes hydrochloric acid that further breaks down the starch and acidic gastric enzymes that breaks down proteins and emulsify fats. This liquid food leaves the stomach and enters into the duodenum. The duodenum triggers the stomach peristaltic activities and triggers the liver and pancreas to secrete digestive enzymes. The main activity of digestion occurs when the duodenum and the alkaline digestive fluid of pancreas neutralizes the acidified food because it's already being broke down that leave the stomach. Then the alkaline pancreas enzyme saturates the food while it is in the duodenum. The liver secretes bile, alkaline digestive fluids that breaks down fats. So now we understand how the body works, showing that it's needed of both alkaline and acidic, bringing forth a proper balanced diet. Now let's continue. It says the digestion enzymatic sequence actually saturates food with a mucose code. The code puts the food on a waiting list for digestion, and
dictates the proper strength of the enzyme needed to break down a particular kind of food. So we see in here what takes place during the digestive system. Now here it says here, the wrong food combination interrupts, blocks, and stops the sequence. Wrong food combination causes cold, allergies, skin eruption, clogged veins and arteries, constipation, diarrhea, bad breath, plaque on teeth, coated tongue, disease, stomach gas. The whole list is here, etc. So we see in this understanding that having a full carnivore diet would lead to eventual fatality. You will be unalived by what you consume, because not only does it that is a balanced diet, but also meats are one of the common things that carry parasites. Parasites gets into your body from the meats into your bloodstream and into certain parts of your body, like your liver, like your pancreas, like your brain, and your digestive system. And what do? They absorb proper nutrients required for your daily activity, slowing down the liver, completely putting your pancreas to stop, causing things like constipations and colon problems because of parasites, because of what you eat, which is meat. This is the reason why you have a balanced diet. Example, many people would consume meats back then with some bitter herbs. Doesn't that sound familiar? That sounds like the Passover, right? When they consume the lamb with some bitter herbs, because the bitter herbs will unalive majority of the critters that is hiding in the mix of the bacteria walls or the cell walls of the meats. It goes into your bloodstreams and cause havoc. People doesn't understand that. So there's a reason why these things are done. Back then, I telling you, I see my grandmother do that already. She have meats, and she have some simple bitter herbs, and she have some lettuce, some cucumbers, some tomatoes, some onions, some, we call this thing watercressels, I think mustard greens, which was the nastiest shit I ever tasted in my life. But that same nasty shit that she would eat with that balanced meal would have allowed her to do what? Remove all the parasites while having a proper diet. She had mangoes with it. She had grapes and bananas with it. This is what they would have eaten back then. I witnessed with my own two eyes. Guess how long she lived? He controlled all life, and he gives and he take it away. But she lived to be 97 years. Let's play that out there. That's what a balanced diet does. A balanced diet changes your body. Though we live for the Heavenly Father, sometimes we don't have a choice but to eat certain things, because it's out of our way of getting these things. Because plenty times I would say many people make the excuse that it is expensive, but it's not really expensive to eat healthy. Eating healthy starts with one thing: what you consume and how much you consume, right? And I have to go back into eating healthy because I have gained a little bit of weight trying to get some muscles. I'm not working out because of what I used to consume before would have cleared up majority of the nutrients for that. So eating meats and certain foods to build myself up, all it would have done was what? Build my stomach. So I get a little weight on my hand, but it's not enough to say, So not enough to say, all right, I could build up. I need to eat more meat in order to build up, and I'm not going to do that. So I'm not going to waste my time doing that. I will just stick to my regular workouts. My diet from now on, I'm going to go back into the way it's supposed to be. I tried. I don't want to go into heavy eating meats because they're not good. Neither are these protein powders or something, because these are things that are made from many of these protein shakes and milks and powders are made, I say it again, are made from unclean animals. And I don't partake of that. So I'm not wasting my time with that. So, when I used to eat clean, what I used to do? Buy lettuce, cucumbers, onions, and it have the apples, 10 apples for $20. You buy 2 packs of that. it have fruit basket selling bananas. Guess what? You buy and the bananas cheap. $5 for a pound, or sometimes $10 for 3 pounds. You buy that. Everything comes up to $100. And for those who think, and that by itself lasting you literally a week. I'll be nice with you. This is how I used to eat. I'm going to go back and start eating like that, but I would say not too much or not alone, because we need to have a balanced diet at the end of the day. Just to practice what I preach. So yeah. So the balance diet is required, and I'm going to teach scriptures to get some understanding, some precepts, right? As scriptures say, a false balance. Proverbs 11 and 1. A false balance is an abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. See? A just weight is his delight. And I get Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 23. Diverse weight are an abomination unto Yahweh, and a false balance is not good. Eating meat alone is a false balance. It's not good. It was not designed to be so. You have to be able to input alkaline and acidic into your body to allow certain parts to be alkaline and acidic. Like the outer wall of your stomach supposed to be acidic, but the inner wall of your stomach is alkaline. The outer wall is to excrete the acids, so that guess what? Your food can begin to digest. Acid are acidic. Acids from your walls are acidic. It's designed to be for a purpose, for digesting certain foods. This is what we must understand. Everything works side by side. A woman, let me see. So like a woman's there was a situation where a lady was eating a lot of I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was plenty alkaline foods, and she began to become healthy and so on. And then that area she began to get dry. Now, when she started back to the balanced diet, the area started to come back into the way it's supposed to. Her vagina, just putting it out there. This just shows you that it has to start with a balance. The Heavenly Father created it for a balance, for a purpose. So you must understand and go back to that balance at the end of the day, right? And the end of the day is what? No, it's not an all meat diet. It's a balanced diet. Certain meats, veggies, and fruits, and that's it. For protein, for all the functions of your body to receive the proper functions, and we consume meat in moderation in smaller portions because we know it's acidic and it doesn't require much for you to receive protein. That is because it's concentrated, saturated with protein. So I hope this lesson would have been nice for you to receive, and this is why we do these things, because guess what? We have to understand the way of bodily functions to prevent certain diseases if the Heavenly Father wills it, right? Because remember, this is what we do. Our scripture says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which he may have of him, for of the Most High, for Yahweh had created him, for of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. And the scale of the physician shall lift up his head, and he shall be the sight of great men, and he shall be in admiration, right? And it says in verse 4, for Yahweh had created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Now, aside from that, we have to also remember that it's not wise to be, I would say, greedy, as scripture say. For let me read it from. I'll read it from this here. No, I believe I could go in right here. Being not unsatiable in any dainty things, nor too greedy upon meats, because we see many people have a issue because excess meat, so too much of meat by itself could get you sick. And here it says in verse 30, it says, for excess of meat bringeth sickness, and surfeiting, which is greed, will turn into a chola, which, so as you go, let me get a word chola if it's pronounced correctly. So that's how it's pronounced, right? Irritability, which that's what it means. Irritability, displeasure, in other words, sickness or dis-ease, discomfort, right? As you go for it, says for by surfeiting, which just to be on the safe side, I'm not told you what it was, but I'm still going to, so we need to get an understanding regardless. Which an overindulgence in food and drinks, like we see. Greed. Oh, that's gluttony, gluttony, I see the wrong thing. Gluttony. Right? And it goes to, it says, by surfeiting have many perished, meaning they were unalive, they died. But he that taketh heed prolongeth his life. This is the reason why I'm doing this video, because guess what? This is, I don't, aside from dealing with herbs to help people, it is more recommended that you go about certain diets and the way you do things to prevent yourself from receiving the same punishment, or the same fate. By surfeiting have many perished, but he that taketh heed prolongeth his life. Right? This is the main point. So I'm going to give a food list here that would give you some information that you require, that would need to go into to probably help with a balanced diet, right? There we have it. Nutritional Guide by Dr. Sebi. This is the most complete guide to the food that will best support you in the following. Digest Dr. Sebi Sulakia recommended that. And there it goes by saying we are not medical doctors. Yes, we are not. But let's go and get the understanding of this. Vegetables, you see what you could consume right here on the list. Now be careful for the GMOs. These are your vegetables you could consume that are part of rebalancing your diet for those who didn't understand how to consume, how to eat. Then we go into fruits, as you see here, and from fruits we go into what? Natural teas. I love natural herbal teas. Matter of fact, I wish I could show you some, but for some reason my camera doesn't agree with this app anymore. I had to look for an app where I could use my camera to show, and I will always do that because I have a lot of new herbs here. A lot of herbs and capsules for the naturopathy way that would assist or would help. So let's see this. All right. Anyways, did I name it something else? You mean it's dandelion? It's dandelion. Okay. Alright, this is dandelion. Some dandelion capsules here. Here we go now. A lot of capsules at the point in time. So let's continue. Now you have the grains, which we read in before. Then you have the nuts and seeds, which is also read. Then you have the oils, which you consume, but not to consume. Do not consume coconut oil or olive oil when cooked, because it do tend to clog your arteries up. For those who don't know, I could do a study on that as well to give some information regardless, right? Then you go into the information here. Then here it says, this is the guidelines, right? If for those who are sick and not well, this is what you should go into. Avoid microwave. Let me go from the top. If your food is not listed in the nutritional guide, it's not recommended, right? Drink 1 gallon of natural spring water daily. 1 gallon, right? Take Dr. Sebi product, which is dealing with this product. Allow Dr. Sebi, okay, the usual stuff. Now, this is the main point to not go into. During the process of your bodily cleanse, it is not recommended to eat protein or eat meats, not protein, more so meats. Because meats could change the dynamics of how the herbs work, because meats are acidic and these herbs are alkaline. Let's continue. It says, right, natural growing grains, no animal products, no dairy products, no fish products, no hybrid foods, no alcohol. Natural growing grains are alkaline based. It's recommended that you consume only the grains listed on the nutritional guide. As you go further, many of the grains are listed. Okay, enough about the grains. Let's continue. Products are still releasing. No, even not. Let's go down to the main point. Avoid using microwave. It will kill your food. No canned or seedless foods, which we see information informed there. So we're seeing that's why it's all same as say no meats, no dairy products, no oils, no sugars, no salts, no flours, no rice. Fruits and veggies first. Dealing with your cleanse. The only exception I would give is eggs. but cannot be fried but boiled. But I usually don't give it regardless. It's an exception for those who, for some reason, are unable to break out of that diet. They still have something to lean on while they go as their base diet to be fruits and veggies. So they will still be able to get the balance that is required, more alkaline though, as we see. So I hope this lesson here would have bring some understanding to you. And during this diet, after your diet, when you go back to eating, your natural or balanced diet should be a small portion of meat like lamb, chicken, beef, turkey, fish, scales and fins. No unclean meats according to the Bible, because even when you take these herbs, it will still fuck you over. One more time. Even if you still take these herbs, the unclean meats are designed to kill, so it will still fuck you over whether you like it or not. No unclean meats that the Bible tells you, because studies have been done regardless, so hard lucks. Nice try. Now you understand why the Heavenly Father say, don't eat these things. It's not because he wanted them to eat it, because, aside from that, it's his will, but because it's detrimental to you. These are not animals that you can consume, because they consume dead carcasses and other dead flesh. They are bottom feeders, majority of them, if not all. But I hope this lesson was indeed edifying. I will say Shalom, Yasharala, Kal, Halal, Yam, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. We get about honor to the apostles and prophets and elders of GMS Camp, but as great minister for the being for the 100% that we currently edified under. Shalom to the elect tabernacle of David and I'm brother Kazak Yasharala coming to you this lesson. Saying to you, Shalom, Salakia.